Small business is about courage, risk-taking, independence, and we small business owners are survivors. Everybody has an idea for a business, but how do you take that idea from mind to market? This is the place to learn.
Small Business School.
It's a new kind of school. Together we'll learn about business from the inside out, from the people who've done it. We'll meet the men and women who are today's pioneers and quiet heroes. Their lives are the textbooks. Our classroom is the world.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
Hi, I'm Hattie Bryant. Want to know how business works, how products and services reach you every day, how work is created and lives made better? When the Opici family immigrated from Italy to New Jersey at the end of the 19th century, the only beverage made for celebration was hard cider. New Jersey was full of apple orchards, and it was only natural. This was a problem for the Italians who longed for the wines they enjoyed in their homeland. Thus, the Opici Wine Group was born. So who are the Opicis? Well, I'll tell you who they are not. They are not Hollywood's Italian Americans made famous by the Sopranos who sing off key. They are honest, hardworking, fair-minded owners of a strong and ever-growing business. Let's go to Glen Rock, New Jersey. I know you'll love Hubert and Rosie.
And all the Italians brought all their customs and habits, and on Saturdays and Sundays they used to have picnics, or either in the winter they had venison dinners and pork dinners. That was their culture. You know, the Americans used to drink applejack, and wine only became in 1970. It started to, the Americans recognized wine, started to drink it, and then the likes of Beringer, Mondavi, who we represent, came along, and it opened a lot of doors where a little Italian firm could not go. American country clubs you couldn't get near. But with their brands, we opened up all, that's what made us grow.
Since 1933, Rose and Hubert Opici have been in the wine business. What started as a New Jersey distributorship has grown into a conglomerate with Opici Wine Group as the holding company for American BD, Casanova Opici New York, Interwine, the Opici Wine Company, and the Opici Import Company.
We keep everything in perfect condition, because if a truck breaks down in Miami, it costs you $250 to bring it home, while the repair job would have cost $50. And you have to watch every facet of the business.
With 400 employees, they will sell 2 million cases a year of some 2,000 products.
MZ49.
It's a funny thing when wines come in and we taste them, and I say, nope, we can't sell this. It's too tart. It's too lemony. The throat will resist this. And they go, oh my God, if Rosie don't like it, we can't sell it. They laugh. But it's true. If you don't like something, you don't want it out in the public. The license we took out in Florida was Linda and Rose Opici. So they go, those two broads, we'll have them off the road in a couple of months. And then there goes the salesman, who told you that? She said, they don't know my mother. So that's, and to this day he laughs. The competitor that came out with that and said it. Now we're friends. But that's what happens. You become friendly with your competitors also, you know.
Right.
Because otherwise it doesn't work.
Hubert and Rose are the children of immigrants. Their daughter Linda runs the company day to day now, and the three are grooming Dina, Linda's daughter and an attorney, for leadership. Donnie, Linda's son, just graduated from Columbia University. This is a nice Italian family, an honest, hard-working Italian family. They have built what they have today by offering customers a fair price and fabulous service. This is the story of America, of capitalism at its best.
Basically, I learned by doing. Every day, there's new challenges that crop up that no one could teach you. you just don't know every day when you come to work what's going to happen next. I mean, I'm never ever bored.
I once told someone who didn't work for us at the time, we were going back to the office, and he said, "Have a good day," and I said, "Have fun," and he looked at me and said, "Have fun," and I said, "Well, we have fun every day," and now he's working here, and he said, "I see what you mean." So, you know, it's a fun place to work.
From this 200,000 square feet warehouse, 35 to 40 trucks are loaded every night with 7 to 12,000 cases. Everything is barcoded and laser scanned. In the daytime, 10 to 12 containers are received.
We're looking at the future. We're looking at growth. We moved into this warehouse 3 years ago, and we thought that it would keep us sufficiently housed for at least 5 years. And here we are, just in our new addition of 35,000 square feet.
Wow.
Close to heaven.
Patrick Botten is Vice President of Operations.
It's very much a logistics business, incoming and outgoing.
All right, you want to place an order?
We have an ability to be able to take projects, work them through, and you know, get the team working on it so that we see every part of it and we discuss many of the parts of the project so that we can keep moving them forward. And of course, the company has never been afraid of technology. Based upon its size, you know, we've had some of we've started with many of the products and the technologies that are used in the industry today. We've started here. Presently, we're using a touch-tone phone system, audio response. Our salespeople call their orders in remotely, directly into our computer system. Okay, we also supplement that with our customer service department, which deals with our customers on an everyday basis and handling any of the problems that the salespeople encounter while they're in the trade.
As a salesperson then, I call in and I talk to the computer?
Yes, you do. And the computer gives you a response out on whether the goods are in stock, out of stock, whether your customer can be shipped, and whether they're going to get delivery tomorrow.
What we've had to learn is you have to have a strong management team around you, and at times we did not have that. Fortunately, within the last year, we've managed to create that. We've changed the entire staff of the upper management, which was running New Jersey and New York, and the VP of sales, and we've changed the entire structure.
Okay, because
we weren't pleased with the way things were going, because we want to go to the next level, because we needed to do this to effectuate a growth and to attract new suppliers and meet their demands. And so therefore we had to make some people maybe unhappy, but the most important thing to us is the welfare of our company.
Burton May is Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Opici Wine Group.
In my previous life, I worked for a major company in the business. The corporation was such that it was very well run, but on the same token, you couldn't get a decision made on the spur of the moment. In this particular position and with this particular company, decisions are made every single day. You don't have to wait around and have a committee to do it. You don't have to wait around and get the okay from Hubert or anybody else. That decision's made. You're given that latitude to make that decision. And by doing that, that gives us the ability and the one-upmanship on our competition in the marketplace.
What we did was we went outside of the company on several of the repositioning and reorganization and looked into other companies that we were dealing with that we thought had expert people, and we approached them, and if there was any interest, and there was. We also, within the company, brought people up. People approach our people all the time now because I think we have such a great team in place, and obviously everyone's envious of a winner, and therefore our people are approached quite often.
The attraction is that you can still have access to senior management, and that senior management can have an everyday interaction with even the warehouse people or you know, our customer service or our credit people, and that's important because you find more things out from the bottom up than you do from the top down.
So now that you've got all these winners, how are you going to keep them?
We'll keep them. There's things you can do.
Like what, Linda? Like bonus plans?
Like bonus plans, and there's plans for the future that we will put in place for them and have already that will secure them with $1 at the end of the road. That will be very intriguing, and I'm sure that's kind of a hook that you need to do today. So first of all, coming here is exciting every day because there's so much going on. And second of all, what he would get at the time of retirement would be so interesting that he wouldn't want to leave. Because if you stay, we pay.
I still go out and sell. Last week we had a product that was laying in a warehouse, and I said to one of the salesmen, "I'm coming with you." And so we went out, and then I said, then when the managers saw me go out, they went out. I said, "In the bar, you go out. The next day, you go out." And they sold 50 cases. They were hitting sell 50 cases in a year, so I always say you should be a leader, not a pusher, because if you lead, they follow. If you push them, they resent it, and how would you say, resist your advice.
I think we spur each other on.
Right.
And no one comes here like, I do this and I do that. We're a team working together.
So this is really the core of the business.
Core of the business. This is where we work nights. They start here at 9 tonight.
What happens at 9 o'clock? A guy who was born in 1916. What do you think you bring to the table today?
I think perseverance and enthusiasm. Like last week, we went to Connecticut to buy a building, and I looked it over, and all weekend I was writing all the specs that we should look at, environmentally and physically, and I enjoy doing that.
What is it about the business that brings you into it every day?
Knowing your customers and realizing that they need you there when they want something. They know that I'd get it to them. If I had to, I'd bring it myself.
She has a wonderful personality. She can convince anyone. And when we first came out of the service, we had one bookkeeper, Rose, and myself. I was on the road, and she was in the office with the girl, and she learned the business. And we went to all the conventions, we went to all the pork dinners and venison dinners, and socialized. And at one time, I think we had 4,000 customers. We practically knew every one of them.
Who are your customers to you?
They're part of the family, so to speak, because we become that close. And others approach them and they go, well, we're satisfied where we are, and they don't go any further, so it's my problem that I have gone through that for it, you know. It's not a problem, it's a satisfaction that they're as happy where they are and who they're trusting. And it's a big deal. I mean, you get into them and you stay there. If they have to like your product, now don't get me wrong.
And I enjoy seeing customers. We, in Florida, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Rosie and I are out every night. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we hibernate. And the customers like that. They know who they're dealing with. They know when they have a problem, they don't ask for Tom or Bob or somebody. They ask, hey, where's Yubi?
A lot of the wine business doesn't go on in the office. This is an industry where most of the work is done after work, meeting with different restaurateurs, meeting with retailers. None of that happens in the office. A lot of nights where you have dinners with suppliers who are visiting town, none of that happens in the office. So you could leave the office on a day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and not get home till 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, doesn't mean that you weren't working, but you were definitely having fun.
Eat dinner with your customers. Yes, this is the technique the Opici family has used for decades to stay close to customers, to keep their fingers on the pulse of business, to watch how their products are sold, and to thank customers for their business. You do not have to be in the hospitality industry to use this idea. Rosie and Hubert still eat with a customer 4 nights a week. Sharing a meal with people puts you in an intimate, family-like relationship with them. Lunch meetings are okay, but not as warm, relaxed, and personal as dinner. To grow your business, eat dinner with your customers. To read the entire script of this program, go to smallbusinessschool.org.
Thank you very much.
40 years ago, Rose Opici thought they should have a party for their suppliers and customers. So what is now called the Grand Tasting takes place twice a year in 2 locations. This event in New York City's famous Tavern on the Green was attended by 750, while the New Jersey party attracted nearly 1,000.
Mr. and Mrs. Opici are legends in the business at this point.
Bob Galasso is Vice President of National Sales for the Opici Import Company and is the one who searches the world for good value.
He's been doing this now for over 60 years, and the longevity alone is proof of the fact that his business ethic has really built this company up from a small distribution company to a multi-million-dollar company with 200 employees.
Alessandra Bezzi, Bob's assistant, is the day-to-day connection between Opici in New Jersey and growers in Italy.
Ciao, come va? Bene. Tutto bene? Fatto buon viaggio?
She is Italian herself, so it's easy for her to manage the relationships since so many do not speak English.
Ti sto guardando te perché sto dovevo guardare lui.
Va benissimo.
We've been with Opici for well over a decade now, and Mr. Opici for us is a family member. He's a man of endless integrity, honesty. He's a warm individual. He's a man that shares our same philosophy of quality and delivering a good product at the price point.
Many of the relationships with the suppliers have been established for more than one generation. Many of these people who are our suppliers and our friends are also small family-owned firms. They're represented here by the sons and the grandsons of the founders.
Brunello di Montalcino, 96 vintage. Benissimo, lei?
Producers are the farmers and winemakers who depend upon their distributors, like the Opicis, to carry their creations to shops and restaurants, who in turn sell the delicious products to happy customers.
We've had a good summer. It was a hot summer. And then we had a couple of beneficial rains right when we were beginning to panic.
Oh.
And but really what that meant is that we have loose clusters, very small berries, and we're making some beautiful wines right now.
That's pretty good.
But the quantity is not very high, but we will trade that quantity for quality any day.
According to Wine Spectator magazine, wine consumption in the United States is on the rise and will purchase some 240 million cases this year.
The idea of the wine business for me is that our products generally are used in an entertainment setting. So we generally consider ourselves to be more in the entertainment business than actually in the wine business. We look at the usage of our wines. It's not necessarily a commodity that lends itself to sitting behind a desk making phone calls and getting sales. It's more of a commodity that we celebrate. We love to open a bottle and share it with our customers. We love to talk about the nuances of the taste and the flavors, and it can be an hours-long discussion and argument over various wines. The wine business is a business of passion. It's not so much a business of static numbers or moving cases. It's a business that we all love. It's a business that's a family business. We get to know the people that we work with on a personal basis, and it's just a celebration of life.
Tom Dirigibus, Rose's brother, is the CFO.
Well, my responsibilities are primarily in the finance area. I've got the sharp pencil. Well, it's a little bit in pricing. It's also making sure that the inventory dollars turn on a regular basis. The more you turn your dollars, the better the profit structure is in an organization. Any agricultural product is dependent on source. And when supply becomes low, prices automatically rise. And the market reflects that vintage by vintage. And we have a broad base of products that cover the span of the world. If France prices are on an increase, people will shop in other markets. They'll go to Chile or Australia.
Well, the French, like I said, were haughty and hubris and thought they had the best product in the world, and they were the leaders. And in fact, California, the College of Davis in California developed a wine course, and the Europeans came to California to learn how to produce wines, and they produced wines better than France. In 1978, they had a blind tasting in America of, I think, 8 wines. They took the prizes, and that kicked off of California. After that, that was 78, and that's when California was accepted as a world leader in making wine. And And we were fortunate enough to have 3 good brands that opened up all the doors for us where we couldn't get in before.
The positive part is that with good pricing, fair pricing, everybody in the distribution chain wins.
Makes money. But there's always a couple who think, well, you go to a restaurant, some restaurants charge up wine at 1.5, other restaurants charge up 4 times. And you can buy a bottle of a good wine in some restaurants for $17, $20, and you go to some other place and you pay $50. And those restaurants are starting to suffer now. Sell it reasonable, honest price, and you'll sell a lot more. If you overcharge, first they resent it, and secondly they may never come back, or either they won't buy the second bottle.
Absolutely. The most important thing, I think, is you have to have products of quality and value, because otherwise it's just spinning your wheels with no return.
There's no reason why any customer has to do business with us. There are plenty of wineries out there, there are plenty of wines out there, and the only reason that they do business with us is based off of the quality of the wine that we sell, and as well as the favorable pricing and the relationships that they have with either people in our family or people who work for us.
How do you measure your success? Is it
we use all types of reports that are put out, seeing where we are compared to other people. We see how our business is growing. We have plans that we set up, a 3 or 5 year plan showing where we want to be in 3 years, 5 years by percentage points, and we just make sure that that happens. And you've met Burton, and he's the head of sales, so you know that's going to happen.
Okay.
You know, not a problem.
For younger generations, the best thing is to have older generations around, to not only impart their wisdom, but to impart their experiences.
You married Hubert, and did he ever have a paycheck?
No.
And you didn't either?
At the beginning, no, we didn't.
How many years do you think you went without taking a regular
Oh,
paycheck?
maybe 10 years. Really. It seems strange, but it was true.
It wasn't easy. I remember when President Eisenhower had his heart attack, I think we owed the bank $7,000 or $8,000, and the girl calls up and says, you know, your collateral is below, you have to come in and pay us. And then the next week, the market came back, and President Eisenhower survived, and we went on. But that's the way it was then. You know, Italians weren't given much credit.
So whose idea was it to put girls in bikinis on billboards in New Jersey?
Me. How else do you get attention?
I think that what I learned from my grandfather is his business sense, is his intelligence regarding how to run a business and how to interact with our suppliers. What I've learned from my grandmother is that this business can be softened. It's not all about receiving inventory and billing it out and making sure bills are paid.
Even though my parents aren't here, like, I can hear them, and then I speak to them all the time, and my dad's like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you watch this? Yes.
Okay.
He's like the extra force behind me, making sure that everything's being done and every I is dotted and T is crossed, and everything's just perfectly done.
I mean, you can wake up every day and do whatever you want to do. Why are you still going to work?
Because I like it. It's satisfaction and entertainment. I mean, we're not as serious about it or worry about it as much as we did, because we're very lucky to have the children come in, remember. And they're doing a good job, and we don't have to worry too much anymore.
But I enjoy getting up every morning and going to work. I think, well, today I got to go visit this customer, visit that customer, go buy a truck, or call up some salesman, tell him what is he doing. And the usual routine of a small business, and that keeps you alert.
And my mom and dad have done a great job, and I think that we've taken it to another level, and I'm positive that Dina and Donnie will take it to even higher levels.
Dina and Donnie are coming on stream, and one's 28 and the other one is 22. They can go 35 years and we'll be 100 years old, and that's my goal. That's what I tell them. Try to make it 100 years. That's a 4th generation, and only 4% of family businesses last 4 generations.
Do you think you and your brother, will make it to that 100-year goal that your grandfather has set?
We're planning the party, hopefully.
It seems as if the bigger a business gets, the more readily the founder can pinpoint the key to success. Rosie, Hubert, Linda, and Dina all agree. To grow your company, eat plenty of dinners with customers. I'll see you next time.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
If you want to learn more about starting, running, and growing a business, come to our website, smallbusinessschool.org. There's streaming video and interactive study guides. The only way we can compete with big business is to be faster, smarter, and better. We are the engine of the American economy. We create the jobs. Small business is about big commitment. It's about sacrifice and struggle. But we do it because we say, if I don't do this, my life won't be complete.